This is the Healey Brothers Show.
All right, so Brian, quick, easy episode here for Healey Brothers. State of the used car, where we're at, what customers are thinking, what they're thinking in our area, not just across the country, because obviously we serve the Hudson Valley, Orange and Dutchess mostly. So if you could just give us an update on where the used car market is it going up like crazy? Is it hard to come by, or are vehicles becoming more affordable? How many do we have, kind of a thing, and the customer sentiment, I guess.
Overall, the used car market is doing well. There's more vehicles out there in the market. Typically, what drives that is the new car market. So for a while, there were no new vehicles being produced. New inventory was really low, and it put a strain on used vehicle inventory. Manufacturers now producing vehicles a lot more readily. A lot of rebates out there for new cars, so people are buying a lot of new cars. It means that the used car market has it's growing. There's more out there, but that also means that the average price of a used vehicle is now declining. Where during COVID it was increasing incrementally every single month. Typically, used car market decreases every month, but COVID was a different time. But now we're going back to normal, and again, there's a lot more vehicles in the market. The prices are getting better. Things are becoming a lot more affordable. And we're making those changes internally at Healey Brothers to make sure that we are reflective of what the market is showing. I'd say that the old school way of selling a used car was you took it in for X and you marked it up and you would just try to sell it for whatever you think you could. But those days are long gone.
Blindfolded.
Yeah, and it's, hey, I own this
spray and pray.
I own this car for $10,000, and the book says it's worth $13,000. I'm gonna put it for $13,000, and it doesn't matter if it takes 2 weeks or 2 months or sometimes 6 months to sell it.
So then, how is it different now?
So now there's just so much.
We use a lot of technology now too.
Yeah, the technology. There's so much more data out there in today's world. There's still dealers out there that say, hey, I took this car in on trade for $10,000, and I'm going to sell it for $14,000 because that's what it's worth today, and they never make adjustments. So what we do, and what I make sure our managers do every single week, and realistically daily, is look at the market. What is the vehicle worth today? It doesn't matter what it was worth 2 weeks ago, or on April 1st even. It's what is it worth today? How many are out there that are similar? What are they transacting for? And then what can we change our pricing to match the current market?
I understand that. So it's constantly making changes.
Yeah, we're not doing countrywide, so it's like we're setting a mileage out from the facility, and you're not just going comparing our prices to California or anything like that. So it's you choose your market, you're pricing the vehicle accordingly, you're putting the right numbers on the vehicle, you're adjusting accordingly. We still have managers that are attached to that car. I think they're like, oh man, I know that car. That car is going to sell big money because I feel it. I feel it's coming. Some still think like that right now, but now I would say 90% of the time, we're taking the approach where we're going to price this vehicle right. We're going to take it in right. We're going to give the customer the best possible value for their trade-in, and then we're going to go from there. We're going to use the data that supports it, show the customer hey, this is where it is. This is where we're at on this. We have to put a certain amount of work into the vehicle. So that's the big part. It's just the technology we use now and the discipline to use the technology instead of saying the old timer of, I know this car, it's worth this kind of a thing, which is very important.
So I know you're saying more new cars, and I guess you say selling new cars. Are we selling more used cars because of their price points compared to what they were even a year ago? Even in 2023, the prices weren't still great.
Yeah, inventory levels are a big part of that. So during COVID, there were no new cars that were available because the factories weren't building them. So we were selling a lot more used vehicles because you couldn't get new cars. Now that the new cars are available, those inventories are coming up. People are now trading in their cars for a new car, but that gives us a used car trade, and it's just bolstering our inventory. And we're also doing a better job in-house at Healey Brothers of keeping more vehicles for our customers. New York State is not the easiest state to recondition vehicles, and as far as New York State inspection goes, it's different than, say, New Mexico might be. Traditionally, I think we sold a lot of cars at auction. You might have traded in a car, and we said, maybe we shouldn't sell that. but we're taking a second look, a third look, even trying a different store and retailing that vehicle because someone's going to buy it. I mean, people are buying vehicles from 10 miles on them to 180,000 miles on them in New York State. So if another dealership can do it, why can't we? And we're making sure that vehicle passes New York State inspection. It
has to pass our Healey inspection too. It's not, we're not just putting like glue and tape on vehicles. They go through a thorough process, everything mechanical, safe and sound, because you put your families in there. So we're giving a very high quality product, putting it back on the road.
But we're just keeping more.
I mean, there might be like on a lower price vehicle, higher mileage vehicle, there might be some minor dings and dents like that are cosmetic that we want to fix, so we can keep that price value. So you can have so a consumer can actually have a budgeted car instead of fixing everything perfect. But that car, it mechanically is safe and sound and ready to go, and you have no worries at all with how it drives, how it reacts, and all that stuff. So that's very important to say as well. Like, we're putting a high quality product that's safe for the consumer.
Yeah.
Let's say during the low points of 2020, 2021, we dropped to as low as maybe 150 used cars in stock, and that slowly made its way up through last year. And I'd say at any given day we had somewhere between 250 and 300. Now with these small changes that we've made, we're at about 400 cars, used vehicles in stock every single day, available for sale. That changes. I mean, if we're selling 10 to 20 used cars a day, we're going to get 10 to 20 more in. So that inventory is always changing, but the goal is to keep it around 400. I mean, we'd love to have 500. It's just hard to keep it that high. But
I mean, even the last time we did one of these episodes, it wasn't at 400.
I think we were at 250 or 2.
I have to go look at our podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna make this more of a regular. We're gonna try to do this once a month so we can kind of give an update, like where the values are going. Obviously, I think the average price of a used car, I'd say New York State, is around like the 35K marker, right now for like the selling price. Yeah. It's something right in there, and then the new car is, I think, close to 47,000. So it's a drastic difference of vehicle, and I mean, new cars are still expensive. They're coming down. They're being incentivized, but the hot products that people want, like say like a Tucson or a Toyota, they're still priced expensively. So now you can go and get a used model, and they're becoming more in budget. And our goal here is to have a car for everyone's budget, ranging from low to high and fit your needs. Like that's the whole point at Healey Brothers. We want to be able to serve you on all spectrum of credit, all spectrum of value, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, with budget and needs, what is the exact number of under 20,000? Because this has drastically changed since the last time we did one of these episodes.
This morning we have 75 cars under 20,000.
What did we have, 10 last time?
I'd have to go look. It wasn't a very high number.
It wasn't that much. Yeah.
It wasn't a very high number compared to
yeah, we have 75. So, and we've got almost every single brand, make, model that you can imagine. Least expensive vehicle in stock right now is a 2009 smart car. We have Jeeps under 20,000. We've got certified pre-owned cars, a couple Hyundais and Kias, and I think a handful of Chevys under 20,000.
Yeah, I think one of the Equinoxes only has like 45,000 miles on it.
A lot of Nissans, Hyundais, Kias. We have a BMW 5 Series. We've got a Volvo SUV with under 100,000 miles for under $20,000. So it's wide spectrum of what you can get right now.
Yeah, it's very diverse. There's a lot of all-wheel drive vehicles too.
Yeah, I mean, that's our bread and butter. And
being in the Northeast, it's a big thing.
Even though we don't get snow anymore, so
yeah. But yeah, a lot of all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. A lot of cars, obviously, because they're a lower price point to begin with. But again, we've got almost everything you can imagine. And then obviously, as you make your way up, we have everything that you could probably want above that. I think our most expensive vehicle in stock right now is close to $90,000. But
just for use, I mean, new it goes above that with the Navigator. And
we're trying everything. We've pickup trucks, we have two-door cars, sports cars, manual transmissions, obviously SUVs. We have some BMWs, Mercedes, Lexus to choose from. Let's
not forget it. We also sold a Lamborghini. So we did take a Lamborghini in for trade. The person bought a Corvette.
I was gonna say, with the diversity, it reminds me, there's still those two pre-owned Corvettes at Poughkeepsie Chevy, right? So now we're getting into the warm weather. Obviously, we get more new ones in, but probably not as many as people would hope for. So being able to keep pre-owned Corvettes is like actually.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably having our best Corvette year as a group like ever. Like the 1 month, I think we sold like 13 Corvettes, and that was a winter month. That was a winter month. We were like, oh boy, we're not gonna have enough Corvettes going into the spring and summer.
So it's only April now, and if we were having this meeting 2 weeks ago, we had 6 pre-owned Corvettes. So we've sold 4 of those.
Yeah, because 2 left, this blue one and the black.
We've done very well, and the consumer really loves that product. Granted, it's a very sexy product. So, and it's also pretty budget friendly for what most. I mean, it has the supercar appeal, and you're not for a supercar price. So. Yeah.
Not even close to a supercar price.
Yep, about a third.
So, like, Brian, how fast? I know we've had coming off a great used month. Our consumers are getting that higher trim vehicle for a better price instead of buying it new. They're getting it certified, and we're noticing that's helping a lot too. So we're getting those extra features that they might not be able to get new because their payment's jumping so much, but we have it in used. So how fast are we turning this inventory? How quickly are we getting it in? Are we getting it in quick enough? Or
yeah, I mean, we're turning our inventory about once every month. So if we have about 400 cars in stock, that's how many we're selling. Going back years ago, you used to have to keep, if you wanted to sell 300 cars, you had to have 500 in stock. It was just the way you ran your business. But now it's using that market data and the technology to price your vehicles correctly on day one, market them correctly on day one, and sell them faster. In the car industry, gross profits have always tightened, but it's a matter of not making as much money on one car, but making less on more. Turning your inventory more often, putting more Healey brackets out there on the road in the Hudson Valley, getting more service customers, more people just involved in the organization.
And also we're doing packages. We're offering the customer our Healey prepaid maintenance with these vehicles as well, which is a phenomenal product. When we service the vehicle internally, when we first do that first service, check everything on the vehicle, fix it all up for the consumer to put it ready on frontline ready, we're also using our prepaid maintenance products with BG to really clean everything out, make sure it's running efficiently. And then we offer that to the employees because we want them to come back. We want more people out there. We want them just servicing with us all the time. So there's a lot more benefits of us doing the right thing right from get-go. You're giving the customer great value. You're having the opportunity to really show them the service, what we're all about, and get back to our dealership more often. And in the long run, it benefits us and the consumer because they have someone that they can trust taking care of their vehicle.
Yeah, I think every time we mention prepaid maintenance, it's about budgeting. Right, so you're talking about like budget vehicles under $20,000, and I think every time we mention prepaid maintenance is a key with like budgeting. I think you talk about because fitting it into your payment, and then it's like nothing to worry about, and it's easy to budget.
Yeah, it's not like someone we're blowing the doors off. We're like profit wise, it's really an add-on for a consumer to have it in their payment and take care of the vehicle for life and use it on all their cars they have, and it's really good. You get other perks too, wash your car and stuff like that you don't ever have to worry about the life of your car. So it's like a win-win.
And you were saying like some of them are like even some of the ones that are 20,000 fall to be certified vehicles, which that's like no stress at all, and you're not spending a lot on your car, so you're worried about your budget and everything like that. Now you don't really have to come out of pocket for any big expense when it comes to your vehicle. And like all our brands have like pretty good certified warranties, like Chevy, Ford, Hyundai. Their certified warranties are really good. So having some of those under 20,000 is a big thing. I think some of the ones that stood out to me were like the Acadias and the Explorers that were around that price range, because those let you be like family vehicles at a good price. And then probably the one that stood out the most was an express van because of some small businesses, right? So instead of having to spend so much money.
Those in general, new or used, we can't tend to keep long.
I was surprised I even saw one on the website, but so like for a small business, having an express van at $20,000 is like a big thing. So
it's like a painter's dream. They love the painting.
Yeah.
Make money with it. Yeah.
So it sounds like the availability is doing well of used cars in general. Availability is doing well of that key price point of under 20,000. The diversity is doing really well. Like it seems like overall from the last time we did one of these till now, the used car market and our used car inventory.
And you could touch on our process too. Our process has gotten a lot better. We've had some serious meetings about it, and Brian's tweaked it with our general managers to
is that a key part
to have more vehicles for our consumer. End of the day, it's to have more vehicles for our consumer.
Yeah.
That's what they want. So.
It's a portion of it. The used car market nationally is part of it. Just touching back on the fact that there's more used cars out there that are available. The pricing is part of that is on a national level. If there are huge rebates on a new car, that then affects what the price of a 1 or 2 or 3 year old used car is. So if you have a Ram right now that maybe has a $10,000 rebate, well, a used Ram is now going to have a price reduction on the used side. Some dealers don't make a change, but we look at that market data every single day and say, okay, well, you can't sell this used vehicle for this price anymore because the new one you can get for less expensive. We need to make price reductions. And whether that means that we have to sell the vehicle for a loss because the market, that's what it dictates, and then that's what we do. And that's a portion of it. Changing our process internally, making sure that we have more used cars every single day on the lot, that we don't just make a quick rash decision. No, we don't do well with those vehicles. Well, that might be your mindset, but let's take a look at the data and see how many people in the Hudson Valley are buying those types of vehicles. Okay. Previously, the Ford store might not have done well with Toyota Tundras, but if there were 30 Toyota Tundras sold just last month in Orange and Dutchess County pre-owned, why not take a shot? People are looking for them. Why can't we sell them?
Yeah, and the Toyota store doesn't have 30 pre-owned Tundras on their lot, so like they're getting sold somewhere. Yeah. So why not us? Why not?
That's really good analytics. Why not? Honestly.
And people like to look at other things. So like our consumer that likes an F-150 might want to try something or get something used first, and we don't want them to go anywhere else. We want to have the product for them that they could try out and see and use. So
that's really something I never would have thought of, about looking at the analytics of what's selling in our area and deciding on our inventory based off of it.
Dill's like he's glued to his V8. He's a 20 group right now, but he's glued to his V8 every day. But so is he. All these guys are now.
So what is like I guess you would say, like, what are really the cars that fit our market the best based off the analytics?
That's what we sell usually, right?
Yeah, I mean, what cars fit our market? And you take into account...
Are you saying like what we sell best or what the consumer likes best?
Kind of what the consumer likes best, because obviously it sounds like what we're going to sell is going to depend on what the consumers like best because of what they're buying.
Yeah, I mean...
But also what's easier, there's certain brands I would say easier for us to keep and all fleets and stuff like that, easier for us to get than some of the other brands that sell the best in our area. So I'll let Brian elaborate.
Obviously what we sell new, we're going to sell the most of pre-owned. Just because a person that, typically if they're going to come looking at a new Chevy Silverado, you're going to have offerings of pre-owned Silverados also. That person might be brand loyal and they say, okay, I might not be able to afford the new one, but what can you show me certified pre-owned or, pre-owned? I'd say out of all the vehicles that we sell pre-owned, the Ford, Chevy, Hyundai, Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, the Mitsubishis, the stuff that we have new, we're going to sell most of those used. But having the availability of everything else, the off-brand vehicles, as long as there's a market for them, then we're gonna have them on the lot available for sale. Yeah,
and priced right. We're ready to go right now and give that value to the consumer. Like everything we're doing is for the consumer. Like to move this product, get them in our store more often. Yeah. I mean, yes, it benefits us, but like if we don't have the right product for the consumer, if we're not taking care of and serving that consumer every single day, we're just failing. That's our job, is to serve them. So
yeah, and you have to look at the demographics of where you're selling cars. I mean, we could have 40 Lamborghinis, sure, and sell them all over the country, but that's a
one-off. Yeah.
Our goal is to sell to our communities, and every community is different. So what is selling and is hot in Scottsdale, Arizona, with a very, very high household income is going to be very different than maybe in Tucson, in El Paso, Texas, in Hudson Valley, and New York. So everything is different, and
that's why we're so different from New York City, 40 minutes away. So
yeah, so the buying signals of the community that you're in is going to dictate what you should or shouldn't have in stock.
Okay. But a big part of a customer's journey is also price. So that's why we have the budget-friendly vehicles all the way up to the high value. We want to be there. And that Lamborghini sale, it was actually a local customer. Yeah. It didn't sit long, but the guy's been a long-term customer of ours. He likes his Corvettes, and
wish I can remember.
And I mean that's a one-off. That's not our bread and butter. Yes, if we have it priced right, and we'll have it, and we'll try to sell it because we try certain things. We own the vehicle, right? The other person got the right vehicle, so we're gonna give it a go. But if not, that vehicle will probably most likely. That kind of vehicle for our neck of the woods is a one-off that we would have sent that to auction. So, but
All right, but I think that's really all we necessarily have to touch on. It was great to hear that, honestly, the used car market is doing a lot better than the last time we talked about.
We talk about this in our GM, and like the customer sentiment. What are we seeing? Like credit coming. We're hearing all this credit card default and all that stuff. So I just want to where is the consumer at in your eyes? It's hard to tell, but like you read the news and it's like, oh my God, credit card debt. And
I think a lot of people are hoping for the feds to make a rate cut, and then that affects the bank loans.
That's a huge portion.
It's been pretty static, for several months now. But the good news is that, it doesn't help used specifically, but the good news is that the new car manufacturers, they've got a lot of cars out there and they are making crazy deals. The in-house finance companies at Ford and Hyundai and all the different brands, they can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter if the Fed's rate is 7%. Well, they can give 0%.
Now it's sort of like
they can
60
give rebates.
Some brands have 0%. There's 1.9%.
There's deals everywhere, and there's tons of rebates out there. So that helps with the fact that rates are a little bit higher. But we've got multiple different lenders, and depending on wherever you fit in that credit spectrum, we've got banks that will get you approved.
And we have some new partnerships where these banks are helping people with credit scores that, hey, they may have taken a little hit the last year or so, that'll help that customer get the vehicle they need. If they need a new vehicle or their vehicle broke down, it's cheaper to actually get in a new payment than fixing their car that costs a lot of money. So there's a lot of different things in this new partnership with our main lenders has really helped since we came aboard. So that's a whole nother topic we talk about. But in my eyes, I think the customer buying power is still there. The want is still there. It's more of like a nervous want, I would say, from what we're seeing. And then when I talk to like our team that's on the ground more often and dealing with customers, it's like more of a nervous kind of like, they have the buying power kind of a thing.
The nerves just come down to is that they want to wait for the rates to come down. It's like kind of where some of that nerves come from.
The rates are there for a little bit longer.
If you look at it over the course of the last 20 years, we're really, it seems like it's really bad, but in reality, we're about average of what the last 20 or 30 years has been. Same with mortgages and everything like that. It's just, we went from having pretty good rates, and then COVID hit, and the governments had to, all over the world, had to subsidize things. So they went down to almost zero.
Yeah, the rates were unbelievable.
That's not sustainable either. So
Grandpa, if he laughs at this rate, I think he was like 30% rate back in the day when he was like a
30%. You used to be able to.
Our dads still think they're like, this rate isn't. Obviously, you don't know. You're a child.
When car financing came out, you used to be able to get like a 24-month loan, 36. I think in it was like the 80s when 48 months came out, and people were like, whoa, but you were paying 13, 14, 18%. It was just, that was if you had an 800 credit score. Yeah.
Now if people get a 13, 14, 18%, what the?
Yeah, they think that's a credit card rate.
Yeah.
So it's
the credit card debt thing scares me for people because they can't help themselves. But we're here to help. We have budget vehicles. So just to summarize this quick, we do have a vehicle for everyone's budget. It's Healey tested tough, as we say. It goes through crazy inspections. It's very safe and mechanical to get on the road. We have ways to help you if your credit's okay or we're not okay. We're here to help you as well. So there's a lot of different things that we can do, and we're here to serve them. So we're going to try to make this more of a monthly thing so we can give updates on our used cars, where we're seeing it going, how many more vehicles we have, affordability. Do we have a ton of trucks available? And then going into the summer, it obviously changes, and usually people's buying habits usually accelerate through the summer. So hopefully we can keep these vehicles on the ground. And we say we have more vehicles, they go just as fast as they're coming in too. So say the Chevy Trax that's under 15,000, that might not be here tomorrow.
Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, and follow us at Healey Brothers on all social platforms.